Who else would like to speak? Jeff?
Sure. We just sat through obviously a pretty long hearing, and I think people have talked about this for some time, and people have asked us, we should consider the community, we should consider a whole bunch of items. But the reality is, and I think Commissioner Pally said it best, is we really only have one or two responsibilities here, and the first is to the riders and the transportation services. And I think my response to that is this. One of the things that the MTA and the MTA staff made pretty clear from the beginning is that this transaction should have absolutely no impact on the riders whatsoever. I think that this transaction protects the Long Island Railroad yards. There's a guarantee that the money will be there in order to maintain and to actually upgrade the rail yards that are there now. I think it does that. I think the provision also provides additional transit improvements to provide to the transit riders, and that there's no downside. And I think that's key, and I think that's our ultimate responsibility. The second issue of fiduciary responsibility is, did we get enough for our assets? These rail yards have been there for a very long time, and it wasn't, I think, until recently, for probably either the market not being there or the MTA not thinking forward enough of maximizing its assets, which is to start thinking about decking over rail yards and start taking advantage of the property that we have. Over the last few years, we've been talking about it, and we've been moving forward. We've been moving forward on the far west side, and I hope today we can move forward on the Vanderbilt yards. I think there's two pieces here that make sense to me. One is, what does the market bear? Are they getting a full? Are we getting what it's worth? The reality is, it's only worth what someone's willing to provide. And if people are willing to provide and come up with money to actually provide us, then that's what the market bears. An appraisal could, you can redo the appraisal 3 times doing 3 different business cycles. But there was an RFP process. There were things brought forward. The market is what the market is. And I think this is actually a good win. I think there's some, obviously not the full upfront $100 million that we provided initially, but the market today would provide, and this deal provides us with an upfront $20 or $28 million over a short period of time, and then as the development goes forward, the full value of the $100 million. And that comes, in my opinion, my understanding, at no risk, because if in fact that this other part, in addition to the arena, doesn't actually exist, the MTA still owns the air rights. So there's really a no-lose situation here. Is if in fact that developer no longer exists or flips the property or decides not to build, it's ours, and we do have another shot out of it. And if 15 years from now or 10 years from now the market would provide additional money, then we have that opportunity if in fact that developer fails. But there is no other market. No one else has come forward with a credible proposal at this time, and we should take advantage of that. Finally, the last piece, which I think we all need to look at, is whether it's legal. People have talked today a lot about public accountability and whether this is the legal transaction. I think it's pretty clear. I guess our legal department has advised us this is a legal transaction. And other than that, I do respect, obviously, we want to work with the community and the neighborhoods and what's good for the economy. It's not actually in our purview. So my vote today is through the lens no different of Commissioner Pally and Commissioner Capelli and Cecil, in that I am looking at those 3 things, which is transportation, fiduciary responsibility, and legality. And frankly, that's the role that we have here today. So I'll be voting in favor of this.